saben la que hay.
Aquí estamos, mi gente, en el show de Cultura Pop, traído por Pepsi Cola y por Xfinity Cable. Vámonos ya. Llévatelo, Rey.
Hey, hola, mi gente. How are we all doing today? It is a beautiful Saturday. Listen, I know, mi gente, it has been a week for all of us. And guess what? We are going to make today, we are going to make it a very good Saturday because you know what? Saturday is the best day because it's all when the homies get together. We get to chill and enjoy. And I want to start this off before we even get into our topic. Say hello, everybody, to our boy, Trustarscreamer. How have you been, my brother? How have you been this week?
Es un placer estar aquí. It's a pleasure.
Oh, look at him! Look at him!
Oh, look at that.
Look. So wait, I have to correct something. Everybody that comes on Cultura Pop, you guys, if you speak Spanish, that's perfect. We are actually going to do something because TG and Tats and I have talked about this about doing something all in Spanish one day, and that will be something for our Spanish-speaking listeners.
What's up, Super King?
But it's not all about just Latino culture because we're not talking about that today, folks. If you actually see the title of this video, it is something the three of us absolutely love. And it's not even American. It is straight out of Japan. But again, before we go anywhere into the topic, my boy Tats, hermano, how are you today?
I am good. I'm surprised I didn't pop a blood vessel, but other than that, I'm okay.
hey, I think that gift that your wife gave you was beautiful. That awesome card. If he wants to show it,
of course I do.
Look at that. That is beautiful.
I'm currently building it right now.
Look at that, folks. See, always when the wives come through and they find the right thing.
Shave me with the woosah.
Definitely hit you with the woosah. I actually had to go do errands today, and then I came across this little gem because everybody keeps saying, Dre, when you're outside recording and you want to do stuff, well, I needed to get this. And Target had this on sale for too good a deal of $45, and it ended today. So I snatched it up. So
nice.
Grab this. It's
a great
DJI.
find.
Yeah, these are the Mic Minis. So it tells you everything on the back, what you can do. So $45, great deal. And I did order my Kamen Rider Zets belt because today is the last episode of the series. And I know that I am regretting not getting the 01 belt because that 01 belt is like almost $200 now.
Yep.
And I'm trying to re-get all the belts I did not have. So that is something that we can mention now is obviously we're going to talk tokusatsu, Sentai, folks. In the particular genre, Sentai. Subgenres within Sentai. Because again, when we talk tokusatsu, and we all know we love it, everybody thinks, oh, it's the kaiju. Well, that's tokusatsu, but that's not tokusatsu. Kaiju is actually a subcategory of tokusatsu. It's the special practical effects. What we love about the old, see, my man's going there. I got them on my desk. Let's just start pulling out some Zenkaiger and let's pull out 01.
What up, Rowdy? What up, Dark Multiverse?
Oh, he got Belial. I got him over there too. And actually, because I got these, because I went to McDonald's this week, and TG and Tats have been dying laughing at my posts because
he busted out the Zervo, son.
Oh,
Gridman. He busted out Gridman, son. See, now I'm just gonna stop pulling shit out. He knew what he was doing.
I'm done. I was about to show the little Hello Kitty stuff, and I'm just like, I lose.
He pulled out Servo or SSS Gridman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was
he knew what he was doing.
That was
like, you want to show off? No, hold up. I got you.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Hold my bird.
But yeah, folks, that's what we all bond over, this love of this great thing. And over the last, I would actually say, and I don't know if you gentlemen would agree with me on this, I think within the last maybe 4 years, maybe 3 years, I'll say, I've seen a very large influx of new fans. And I think that's good that we're getting a lot of these new fans, especially more, I guess, Instagram has kind of been putting a lot of these people in my face, obviously from, how the algorithms work. But I've just noticed that, like, there's a lot of guys that are going to Power Morphicon, and they had a bunch of huge legends over there that were coming from Japan, which I would have loved to have gone. And a bunch of the newer influencers are already getting like access and panels, and they're doing it tonight, which is, I think, already, what time is it? It is actually 1 more hour from now in California. They will be airing the finale of Kamen Rider Z. And then
no shit.
that we're off for 1 week. And then on the 6th of September is going to be when the first episode of Mice, not Myth, as we all thought it was Myth.
I thought it was Myth.
Yeah, it's Kamen Rider Mice is going to be coming out. So we get a week. This is the first time in a long time that we get a delay in a Kamen Rider week or a Sentai week. And then it's going to be the next week where we're going to be going into the first episode of that.
I don't know how I feel about Myth or Mites or
yeah.
Myth.
So
look like some Tom and Jerry shit, man.
Honestly, that's kind of what everybody is saying it is that it's kind of the show that's supposed to be the idea of cat versus mouse, the Roadrunner versus the Wile E. Coyote. And they're saying that the rider, like one rider, the mouse rider, is supposed to be like the most omnipotent, omnipresent one. And then it's the other cat riders that are basically hunting that one down. And it feels like they're trying to do something with like Ryuki, where it's like the riders are going to battle each other in Gates or Gates, however you looked at that. And I think those two shows were great because of their concepts. Ryuki obviously being a lot more darker, and Gates being more, I don't want to say dark, because they did end up bringing the characters back. Like, you wish them
we
back.
were talking about that before you got on the before you got in. We were talking like I got halfway through Geats until the mid-series form, because it was like, okay, this is cool, this is kind of serious. Wow, we got zombies, we got bodies, and then the mid-series form happened, which was like the goofiest thing, which totally killed the vibe. And I was like, okay, I got to pump the brakes on this.
I got to like episode 3.
I love that. I love the Kitsune, the fox theme that Geats had for his base armor.
Oh yeah, so I think his final form armor, which my friend Fig Picks, shout out to you, Fig Picks. He is in our Toku group on IG, and he has that figure, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But I hated that I had to stomach through the middle of the end of the show, because I think Geats' finale was probably the most lackluster. Like, at least with Ryuki and like Kamen Rider Blade, those shows were dark from the start and were dark to the end. Geats felt like it was like, this is a kid show, so we're going to be a little dark. And then it got like, oh, let's get lighthearted because we're killing too many of the characters off.
Yeah,
and then it changed, and like you said, it's that mid-season form that I was just like,
it kind of, I don't want to say it pulled a Hibiki on me, but it was just like,
oh. No, Hibiki and I have a very hard relationship, because I don't like.
You're not the only one. You're not.
I think all three of us can agree. The best character on that show wasn't even the main rider; it was his backup dancers. Because Todoroki with the guitar axe, I will say it. You guys heard me say this. I think he's by far the coolest character.
Damn, I wish I can get my apocalyptic Hibiki 1/6 scale figure that I got, but
I always say the best example of Hibiki was actually the Decade episode.
Yeah,
agreed.
With the full jam session.
But see, and then that brings up Decade. Do we really want to go down the rabbit hole with how bad that show by many Rider fans is considered? Like, I honestly, going through like Heisei and the Reiwa era, like, I would say that show is not great, but I think they were trying something that just maybe didn't work.
Have a love-hate relationship with Decade. That's actually what kind of gave me, it was like I said, Decade, I think when you guys had me on that, pulled me on that open mic night, we were kind of talking about this. Decade is like the sampler platter of the Heisei era.
Yeah.
You're not getting the best of it, you're not getting the worst of it, but you're just getting a sampling of what it was. And it was after watching Decade, it actually got me a little more interested in some of the other writers. Because I'm like, okay, this should be better. And it was better for most of them. So.
Yeah. I would say,
Yeah.
I think it opens the door too. That show, Decade, opened the door to where they started putting riders from other eras in, because Gachard gets the cards for those. X-Aid gets it. Gaim got it. I mean, pretty much every season after that has had a hybrid crossover with the older riders.
So
yeah,
the end was the best character on that show, more than Decade was.
I do not disagree.
He saved the show. In my mind, he saved that show. Because I it's like, okay, there's certain times I hate to say it, that if a secondary writer on the show takes the place where I want them more than I want the main writer,
yep,
that's bad.
That would be, you know what? I was like to say, Ryuki is actually the story of the secondary writer.
It is.
I was like, Knight is. I was going to say Knight was actually the main writer, but Ryuki was like the backup on that. Common Rider Build. I thought.
Such a good show.
I'm to say God. Why am I blanking on the secondary writer? He took a. I mean, I love Build. Build was actually. I went all the way from the beginning to
my
end.
dude was Grease.
And then I think one of the most balanced shows of all of them actually was Drive. It came out of freaking nowhere with how consistent it was. Probably the most consistent show of all of them.
Can we call it Kamen Rider Knight Rider? Because it really felt like that. It
Pretty
honestly, I absolutely love Drive, and I have
Kamen Rider. It was Kamen Rider feels like, especially the last arc of Drive. You're just sitting there going like, "Come on!"
I love.
This is my favorite secondary writer right here. Fuwa.
Oh yes, Volkan.
Yeah.
Never could open up his card though, right?
Yeah,
nope.
Volkan
was getting carpal tunnel every time he opened that bitch up.
Dude, I feel bad for him
give
though.
The guy freaking clearance.
I know.
Now, nobody who's watching this show knows what we're talking about.
So, but see, that's the purpose of this show, though. See, because Toku Talks is kind of us vibing about this. All of us have had kind of a crazy week. So I want this episode to be a vibe episode where we kind of are gonna do this. We have a cheat sheet. Y'all know I made a cheat sheet. It's there, but we're gonna get to that eventually.
This is my cheat sheet right here.
See, I had to ask. See, I like to ask questions.
Yeah, my man's a fucking encyclopedia of shit.
I love that. But see, that's one of the things I love about when we look at these shows, or when we look at what we love, because it's something we've all said. We all love these shows, right? And we can go back to something where I could call out a show. I'll give an example. I did not watch all the way through Kamen Rider Gaim. Gaim is the Fruits one. It's pretty much Fruit Ninja.
No, I didn't even care for that one. Yeah, I didn't care.
Fruit Ninja Kamen Rider.
It got so
dark. Yeah, it gets dark at a point, which I saw highlights of it, and I can't stomach that the main character is like Fruit Ninja. It's like his driver is Fruit Ninja.
No, but it's kind of like God, what was it? There was that anime Magical Girl Madoka, which was
oh god,
it took the magical concept and made it like, oh my god, I need therapy. Gaim took us when they did Gaim, they knew exactly what they're doing of taking this stupid, silly concept to actually balance out what actually ended up it made the impact that much more of once. I mean, I don't want to spoil it if you're going to watch it, but once
I've watched it, but for the general audience, it's two dimensions. There's like the dimension where the driver powers come from and how they're derived, which is kind of this evil dark dimension underlying the regular world that exists.
Yeah, it's basically there's these trees in this dimension. There's trees, and every now and then the portals would open up, and from the trees came these best part is fruits that would interact with the belt. And yes, it did a fruit themed rider, which
watermelon
again was
arms
stupid as hell until they freaking all of a sudden they start revealing some more of the truths, and you're just like, oh
yeah,
so I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's if you could stomach past I got past the first 4 episodes to episode 10, so that's the only reason I knew about the dimensional thing. But and I've watched like the highlights of the end of the show, so I have like a loose understanding. But if it's that dark, then is it like Kamen Rider Blade, Blade, where like that shit was dark from the jump and evil, and I was invested from episode 1?
Well, it is still late Heisei era. It's still that era, so again, it's still a little goof. You know, it's never going to get dark as it was in the '90s. It's like wrestling will never go back to the Attitude Era again. I'm just saying, it's never going to get that dark, but it's one of those ones where you're sitting going like, okay, that came out of right field. And it added a whole layer to the show of
was it like Double?
I want to say it, but I don't want to say it.
Was it like Double? Because Double threw me for a loop, and I loved Double because that was another show that.
Double, very well balanced.
Exactly,
very well.
Comedy, action, like perfect amount, perfect balance, and a little bit of the dark sprinkled in there.
If somebody wanted to get into if someone wanted to get into the modern era of Kamen Rider, Double would absolutely be someone when I would hand to people.
Yep. Cyclone Joker.
My favorite. That's the base form, folks. That's the base form, and the concept is very cool. So let's give people a little bit, because if there are some of the non-initiated into tokusatsu, let's explain why we say that there's different eras. So there's, as of right now, what we know, which that would be considered Showa. So that is the Showa.
This is the original Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider 1.
So this is from mid to late 70s, all the way up until as far as what I've been told, Showa ends in 1989, because there is that brief break into the early 90s. Now, this is considered Kuga is weird, because Kuga could sit in Showa.
He's like in the middle.
Yeah,
Kuga is considered the first Heisei rider.
Yes,
Kuga is officially the first.
Yeah, the first Heisei rider.
Because there was a hiatus for a while. They did the television shows, and then they stopped doing the shows and ended up doing movies, and then they did the movies or one shots, which would be Kamen Rider J and Kamen Rider Zeo.
Yeah.
Or Zo, not Zeo. Zo.
Yeah, Zo. Yeah, Zeo.
That's the grasshopper one.
Yeah. Don't ask, folks.
No, that's Shin.
No, Shin is because we get Black in that same era of movies.
And then Black RX.
It was Black RX, then J, then Zo.
Exactly.
And then
and that was it.
There was
nothing for like 4 years. And then in like 94, 92, 93, at around that time is where the Heisei era starts. So the Heisei era would be Kuga, and then we get into those older riders. So what we were saying with Kamen Rider Decade, which was the bridge series between Reiwa and Heisei, because that's really the bridge is technically not that. The bridge was, I think Decade is not the bridge. It's before Decade, right?
No.
Deno is still.
No. Reiwa kept going.
Every
Reiwa
time you name one,
after that,
I'm gonna go like this.
That's what I'm saying.
Gaim is still considered Heisei era,
right,
because
so
Gaim actually had the movie of Heisei versus Showa.
Yes. All right. So this is something that I'm gonna have to put a chart together.
Cheat sheet here.
Yeah. See, I got
the human cheat sheet.
I may have to actually put a chart, because this is something I did at a con a long time ago. I actually presented this so people can actually see, and I made a lot of friends. Actually, still friends with one of the guys I met at Hampton Comic Con, and we are still very good friends to this day. And he and I actually bonded over our love of Kamen Rider like 25 years ago. So that feels really good. But then you come into the more modern riders that we have, like 01. I have on here. Let's see. And we're going into Kamen Rider. We're not even talking about that's Revice. There's if I can get him over here. There's Blade.
Zeo is the last. Just Zeo is the last of the. I actually had to look that one up. But
I was about to ask. Yeah, because I wanted to know which one it was.
That one I had to look up, but Zeo is the last of the Heisei era. That's the bridge.
And then we have the riders that we talk about. Like, so you guys been here. We kind of long for the eras of where it got dark, because it kind of goes like this. Showa was very tokusatsu heavy. So very practical special effects, no CGI. No, the special effects were all practical. martial arts in the rubber suits, typical to what you saw in the Godzilla movies of the era. Then once you start getting into the 80s and the 90s, we had some minor computer animation, but it was very basic. It wasn't like the CG that you see now. And I would say now for the last maybe 18 years of Kamen Rider since Kabuto, because Kabuto had some CGI in it when he would summon his Zector, and that's his driver. And I think Hibiki had too much. That's what ruined the show for me.
Even if you know about Kamen Rider, please put it on the chat, because I feel like everybody's like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
I know we're nerding.
I was gonna say, I think hopefully not going too overboard on things. That's what I'm more worried about.
Like, yo, these dudes are Omega nerds. Holy shit!
I know. It's like, listen, I can't help it. It's just a passion. It's like I love Spider-Man. I love Batman. And you guys, if you watch the video I did with my boy Trustarscreamer, shout out to everybody that has watched it and commented.
Yeah, I learned a lot through that video.
And it's like you get to learn some cool stuff about him, and it's on my channel, so definitely check that out. And it's the passion. You know, we all talk about it. You heard me and Tats talk about it in the first episode of Cultura Pop. And if you're watching this episode and you didn't see that first one, get ready, because we're going to put a playlist together soon when we get 5 episodes. So you should go back and watch that episode too. And it's the passion. This is part of why we love this. It doesn't matter what background you are, whatever. It's the love and the knowledge. Look at the knowledge we're putting here. Nerds gonna nerd out to you. Thank you, Super K. I appreciate it. Doesn't make me feel as bad for nerding out.
Right? Because I'm like, I don't know. Like, Kamen Rider is one of those things that's like just starting to take off in the US. I think the past like 3 years or so.
So let's wind it back. So let's run it back. Let's run it back then. Let's run it back for people. So if we're gonna go to the 90s, the late 90s, right here in America, y'all know of Saban.
Masked Rider.
We had Masked Rider. But let's even go back to the same time period. What was on at the same time, folks? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Y'all were doing it in front of the TV. It's Morphin time. You know, R.I.P. Jason David Frank. I got a picture of me and my wife and my daughter up there with them. So, you know, that was where a lot of us as either little ones or as teenagers got the love.
I think your internet.
Is it mine or his? Was it my internet?
I haven't said anything yet, so
I know. Was it mine?
No, I think you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah, right, I don't know. It just I think it's just fucking overall.
Okay.
Well, being obsessed with SHF.
My first experience with Kamen Rider was
that's for sure.
Yeah. My first crossing over with Kamen Rider was actually a Sega CD game, which was
me too. Me too.
That was my first experience, and that was actually an adaptation of Kamen Rider Zo.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience of actually crossing paths with Kamen Rider.
Mine was Black RX, but it was supposed to be like the Masked Rider one that we got out here.
Yes.
And it was a Sega CD game. Yeah, man. That's the first time I fell in love with that shit. And I was guilty of liking the Masked Rider show, even though Furbus and shit had nothing to do with anything.
Rider.
Yeah.
Masked Rider.
Though then they did Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which they did that dirty. I'm sorry, they never even aired the final episode. You had to go on their website to watch it. And that was actually an incredible That was actually an incredible reimagining of Ryuki.
It was. And that actually had a lot of fanfare because they put the toys out here. Bandai they released the Wii game. They released a Game Boy, a 3DS or 2DS game. They released the weapons because they had the cosplay weapons in Target and Toys R Us.
They also let them use the costumes, and they were able to flesh out some of the riders that was only like in 1 or 2 episodes. Whichever the one who was Kamen Rider Cancer, you know, the crab one, he actually got more episodes in the US. I think the same thing with Verde, the chameleon. I think he got more episodes in the US because he was only in the 13 Riders movie.
I only watched a little bit of the Dragon Knights because
let me lower something over here real quick. I'll be right back. Okay.
that got me into this. But I think that for anybody here in the chat, if you guys have not gotten into and are a little lost in the sauce with us, that's okay. This episode's kind of like that. But I have a question for y'all in the chat land. Comment what was the first show that you remember watching and your age to the show, because I guarantee you that will not, it's not going to out us in any way negative. I'm just curious as to see how old you were when Mighty Morphin came out in the US.
I'm curious. It was Mighty Morphin your guys' first experience with Sentai?
No, not for me.
No, it was the fuck. I can't remember, but it's one of the earlier ones. They had it in Spanish in Puerto Rico. I just can't remember.
You had it in Puerto Rico. What about you, Dre?
So it was on, it must have been on Galivisión in New York, because my grandfather had it on the TV. And I remember one Saturday morning I saw it was, if I were to think, it had to be one of the Kamen Rider shows from the 70s. I want to say one of the like, it was an episode of something like that. And then also I got exposed to the crossovers that they did with Lucha Libre from like El Santo, that the movies that they did and stuff like that. So that was kind of my introduction as a little one into this.
So you guys had an advantage that I didn't have by having the multicultural aspect to it. If I was going to say my first experience with Sentai specifically, because Ultraman was done in the U.S. Actually, I used to watch a show called Spectrum Man, which was on Turner for a while, which was like an Ultraman ripoff. Very cool show.
Yep, I remember that.
But Sentai specifically, USA had a show called Night Flight in the 80s, and they took Dynaman and they made it into they took the Japanese footage and they put like a joke dub over it.
No shit.
Yes. They only did like 3 or 4 episodes, but Night Flight did Dynaman, and that was my first experience of seeing the costumes and the giant robots forming. You know, it was the stupidest humor, but I was like, I didn't care. I got to see a giant robot.
Did you watch Captain Power?
Yeah, Captain Power. Yeah.
And that's pretty much Dave and I. Shout out to Dave's Dimension. Dave and I have argued this in favor. Me more in favor. I considered it Sentai. It's a guy that's a human. It would go up to a machine and be like, "Power on," much like Centurions. Centurions could be animated, but I would consider Centurions Sentai in a sense. They were people that didn't wear a suit, and then suddenly they got superpowers when they wore a suit.
Captain Power, but you see, because it's live action, Captain Power is a fantastic example. That's
I can't remember the name for the life of me. Jetman.
That's
Jetman. No,
that's not Maskman.
No. But that was the first one that I seen in Puerto Rico. Growing
44. He saw that. He saw the Dynaman. He knew exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a fleet in my head.
No, that's cool to hear that though, because again, these are like the things that kind of prompt us and show interest to these things. I think that when it's such a niche within the niche of the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but now I don't feel that way. Like I feel like my Instagram is more flooded with toku ideas, and the toku talks you guys see. There's a lot of things I never realized how much Asian culture permeates all the Sentai shows, like how they were talking about like how Indonesian lore affected Kamen Rider and Sentai, and how these people are affected. It's just an interesting kind of thing that I never noticed it. But then when we get here to the States, you see Captain Power, and it's like, for those of you that don't remember that was a Saturday morning live action show that they made action figures of. It was filmed out of Canada.
You could shoot your TV when the show was going on.
Yep, you had to have the planes were guns.
I always wanted one of those.
I have,
and both. It was written by Michael J. Straczynski, the same guy who wrote Babylon 5 and Jason and the Wheeled Warriors.
Now that's hitting people in some old school sci-fi feels right there. Because I've watched me some Babylon 5. So if you like Star Trek, you love Babylon 5.
But I'm just saying, but he took those darker, even though it was a kid's show, he was kind of taking these dark concepts because Captain Power was a very bleak show. It was
It was
one of the shows where the villains won, and
yeah.
it was, and the protagonists were the underdogs again. Which,
they were the freaking the revolutionaries. They were
freedom
the ones
fighters.
they were freedom fighters battling against the oppressed in a cybernetic. I mean, dude, cyberpunk. If before we knew what cyberpunk was, that was cyberpunk, the world that they lived in. It was a post-apocalyptic. What Terminator in '87 gave us Skynet. This is what the world of Captain Power was. And I can't believe I'm actually talking about this in 2026 on a Saturday night. But folks, that show was amazing. And it really was dark. I remember my mom was like, I don't know. And I was like just in elementary going into middle school when that show was on television.
Dude, in Puerto Rico, everybody was like, "Eso trae el diablo, eso trae el diablo." It's the dumbest shit, and that brings the devil. That fucking I don't even want to get into it. That's how it was in Puerto Rico. I think that's why my grandma like made me stop watching it.
I believe
because the bad guys were a little too, you know what I'm saying?
And they were demonic robots, especially
that's what
the one that flew looked like a freaking flying jackal, which was more opaque than the Egyptian god of death. And what he would do, literally, they would fly to people and digitize them.
What the
turn their physical body into code. So they didn't kill them, but they definitely did some dark. It was a dark concept.
They absorbed them into the collective, much like the Borg.
It's just kind of like, and then again, that '90s era of Kamen Rider. Again, those first couple seasons, had some incredibly dark concepts. They had people getting killed. They had had parents being killed in front of their children.
Yep.
I remember. I want to say. I'm trying to think when the switch flipped, and I want to say it was actually Den-O is when it went from being more dark to much more kiddie-like.
Yeah.
Because Kabuto was dark. It had
Kabuto, that was
things happening to people.
This dude doesn't look exactly kiddie-like, but I get what you're saying because he was a fucking goofball.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the whole Den-O concept was much more happy-go-lucky versus
Fies.
People, yes, bodies.
555. For those that have not watched Fies,
Fies is freaking. Oh my gosh, Fies was. I'm still mad at the ending, but
the Orphanox.
Yeah, I mean, and just the stuff that happened to some of the characters. They did some cruel things to characters. Now, Fies' writing had a whole part. If you watch the show, it's like if people just took 10 minutes to actually talk to each other, a third of the plot wouldn't have happened, but
everything would be okay. Yeah, pretty much.
So you guys,
the Orphanox dude wasn't even a bad guy. He was. Go ahead.
No, you were saying
Fies happens to have one of the most despicable Kamen Rider characters of all times with Kaiza.
Yeah. He was a cocky motherfucker.
I wonder.
And
that's what a few times you're sitting waiting for a character to die, and you did not complain.
And
then there was a third one. The Orphanox. Because they were turning people into monsters. Basically, that's what they were doing. And then one of the Orphanox dudes, he got into a car accident, and then he woke up an Orphanox or whatever the fuck.
The idea was in this show, basically, people would die and be resurrected. But when you're resurrected, you would then be what's called an Orphanox, which you're basically walking undead, and you have two forms. Then you have your normal side, and then you could turn into a bestial version of it. And they had some very, very neat character suit designs. And you would think something as some simple animals, like I think one of them was a freaking shrimp, and he was one of the most dangerous ones of them. But then also you then find out that the Orphanox themselves have a limited lifespan unto itself, so it puts another layer of darkness into it. There's one character, and again, this is in the first couple episodes. She was absolutely abused by her family and by her sisters, and you're just like you just want to give her a hug until and then she ends up killing everybody.
See, that's like Tendo in Kabuto. Like, see, because again, when we're explaining this to you guys that may not know, I'm kind of hoping that the fact that we talk about this before we get into the cheat sheet and actually show you guys what the ones we love, you guys could understand a little bit of like, man, I've heard about this show.
That's how crazy these motherfuckers look like.
Because those are the suit designs back then. And that was back then. Now, mind you, they have reused many of those suits throughout all the shows. But I mean, for anybody here that's like, I wasn't exposed to this, you were. And here's where I will tell you were exposed to this stuff. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Masked Rider, Big Bad Beetleborgs, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Yep.
So we were exposed to this. Some of us older.
You left out one.
Well, which is the other one I left out? VR Troopers.
VR Troopers.
Yeah.
I kind of left that one out because we all kind of agree that show was terrible.
Yeah.
So was Big Bad Beetleborgs, man. If you could put up Beetleborgs, VR Troopers.
Yeah. No. At least the only reason Caitlin was hot. I was in love with Caitlin. She could do no wrong, but that show was the acting. Sadly, Jason David Frank was in the first. If you guys don't know this, little weird lore, because Saban was field testing, getting actors. He originally cast Jason David Frank in the pilot that never aired, but it was shown a couple of times online and on Comic Cons, so you can see how bad this looks.
It was called Cybertron, believe it or not.
Yeah,
they got that? Hasbro must have let that name lapse for about a hot 5 minutes.
Because
let that trademark lapse.
Because we got VR Troopers, which was a combination of two Metal Hero shows, Gavan
and
Scheider. So and we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them because a lot of people.
Let's start getting to them now, just so people can have a visual of what we're talking about.
Exactly. I just want you guys to see that we are going to mention these and you will see it. But if you guys have watched those shows, we all grew up on it. The funny thing is, look at the merch for these shows. Him holding up the servo, that shit's like a $200 toy. You don't find that yet, bro. I'm dead ass. I've seen that on Mercari, on eBay. I've seen people sell them at toy shows. They'll have them loose in the thing, and then the guy will be like, he'll look it up and be like, "Oh,
for then."
I don't even know.
Shit!
He got the freaking armor. Damn.
This is the smaller version.
Yeah. I wouldn't sell those because obviously for me, I absolutely love it. And they actually, for any anime fans in our group, if you've watched Gridman, the anime series, they actually shout out Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. They call
that's why it's SSS Gridman. Yeah.
Yep. Look at see that. See, this is.
Oh, I'm just be doing this the whole time. I'm just to mess with you. You realize that, right?
I know. I know. He forgets he don't live that far. Right. When I get to see that in person, I want to be like totally like, the kid in me is gonna melt because I absolutely love those toys. I have a few over there. I wanted to break them out because I have drivers and belts, so you guys can see visuals. But you know what? Give me a moment. I'm gonna grab those toys. This is a show and tell episode today.
Yeah, I'm over here like got my stack of fucking Kamen Rider figures and my Ultraman figures. I got a bunch of shit. Who in the chat knows exactly what we're talking about? Oh shit. How can I let me bring you up real quick.
Dino Charge Megazord. I love. So I will say this: of the things I collect, one of the fun things I do is I do like the vintage era Power Ranger Megazords, which was basically them bringing the direct Japanese versions over. So pretty much up until I want to say it was Mystic Force. They were all using the original Japanese designs, and then they started. The U.S. versions they started simplifying the figures down.
Yeah, the Takara design
really annoying the hell out of me.
Sorry, folks, I had to.
I'm sorry. I think it was Bandai designs, and then they had that Bandai America that gave us the more
exactly the Bandai America, and know they did okay with Megaforce. But Super Mega Force is when they started doing the U.S. dirty.
Now I don't.
What you got there, Dre?
Oh, I got
Actually, samurais when they started doing
it's a
the
show
US
and tell
dirty,
episode today, so I had to dig the Sentai stuff out the closet. So how old? Let's start with old. Okay, the Ghost.
Oh yeah, the Ghost one.
This is Kamen Rider Ghost, and this is his little
Right
here.
If you're hearing all kinds of shit.
So this is the little icon that goes in here, and you drop it in. I actually have one already in there, which is the base form. So there's that. Oh, I don't need to buy that piece from. Hey, remember I was telling y'all about backstage about the mic piece I was missing?
Yeah.
Found it.
Oh, nice.
It was inside of my there, so I don't have to spend $10. All right, then let's go to. This is.
I'm gonna flex a little bit.
Wait, is this? Do I have the batteries in this?
I got the one with the foil box. That was like harder to find.
See, I can't flex like that.
That's the only thing that's left from my Lightning collection. Oh, here we go. Jesus.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, nice.
So for those that don't realize, well, these are called drivers. These are the belts. This is the device that the normal guy would end up somehow getting one of these belts put into their hands, whether it be pinning some guy for a count of 3 or just finding a random suitcase, and they would put the belt on, hit the buttons, and then end up transforming into this upgraded form. So they call them drivers. I don't know why they call it a driver, but that's what they call them.
So this is from.
Neither do I.
This is from Boom Boonger. So this was the I wanted to get all the cars. So this is the vehicle actually was one of the characters in the show. So I actually have this one comes with 3 cars. Yeah. And then I get when you pre-ordered it, they gave you the Red Ranger's basically Matchbox car, and you could put all them in here.
Every era. Nice. And usually all these teams in the Sentai teams for the Power Ranger stuff, as you know, was all themed. Whether you'd get a season of bird-themed characters, animal-themed characters, dinosaur-themed characters, ninja-themed characters. They've actually had multiple seasons that were car-themed, believe it or not. We knew it as Power Rangers Turbo. They called it Car Ranger in Japan. We called it RPM here in the US. They called it, something else. But... It's surprising how many times they would actually be reusing certain themes. The ninja one was used a number of times, and then it's just kind of crazy how they could take a weird, obscure theme and make the robots and everything else themed around it.
I'm playing with another driver here, folks. So this is this is a series that not a lot of people liked, but we'll put this in. Close. So this is from Kamen Rider Gav.
Is that Bill?
Gav.
Oh, Gav. That's yeah. You know what threw me off and thought it was Build was the handle.
Yeah, the build. Yeah, and they reuse a lot of the props for every few seasons, so you might see some things, whether it be for budget constraints.
I forgot. I'm sorry, but when you pop this out, folks, this is what kids get in Japan,
right? Compared to the shit we get out here.
Like, I can't believe this. This is a kid's toy, and I love it. I also have the Gotchard driver, but I don't have any batteries in that one.
So,
all right, let's get to the cheat sheet. So
let's get to the cheat sheet. I think we're definitely tangenting off here. We're going microcosms here.
Sorry, it was just so cool to pull out those toys. I don't take them out often. I need to.
You can whip it out later for everybody, but let's give them some context.
Hey, that's for the OnlyFans.
Right.
All right, obviously. So, Tats, you have control of the sheet, so you could actually. I just uploaded it for us to present it, or does it give me? Yeah, you have the control. Oh, I have it.
No, you should have. Yeah.
All right. So
there you go, Shojin Gentman.
So obviously, when you saw Starscreamer come on, it was funny because he's like, I don't know, and he proved himself wrong today. I don't know much about this. It's my least known geekdom, he told me. Did he not pull out freaking memory lane, folks?
Yeah.
It's
It was my least one. Just imagine where I'm with the rest of this bullshit.
I know. Shit.
Yeah.
It's killer.
But if this is the least, is like fuck.
I know. So God, I'm excited. But these are the ones that we picked when I asked the guys. I was like, hey, let's go back. Now, we never had Jetman, at least as far as I know. The only way I think Jetman even showed up was in Forever Red. Is that correct in America? When they did the Forever Red show?
Nope.
That we showed that red suit?
I don't think he's been in America.
No, he has not. I don't think
right?
they even took him out of
because it was too dark. Yeah, it was too dark. People were getting shot in that fucking.
Well, no, show. I'm saying is the character showing up because I figured that we would have seen the suit at some point because I know that at some in Gokaiger in Japan, Jetman showed up. Like they were in the Sentai war that was happening.
Oh yeah.
So I know that we eventually got Gokaiger here in America. I don't remember what the show was called.
Super Mega Force. They screwed that up too.
So we never because they were keys for Jetman. Because they all were able to transform into that, so we never.
But they did not use them. They did not use them for Super Mega. Dude, they could have done the coolest thing with Super Mega Force, and they bombed it. That's all I can say.
See, that kills me, man, because that was something cool. Like I kind of would like to see that. Like I would have liked to have seen because they did it over in Japan. Like I remember them getting the Jetman key. I remember them getting Zeo Ranger, which is exactly Tats's pick. Now, obviously, MMPR here when you come to America, but I mean, by far,
Ranger is so much better.
Oh, it is
so much fucking better. You think the Green Ranger in America was ruthless? Fuck that. Burai was not playing fucking games.
Oh yeah,
he got people buried in rubble and shit, fucking shit up when he first came out.
I loved it. How was So since you saw this in Japanese, how was Rita Repulsa?
Her name was Bandora. Witch Bandora.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was fucking evil, bro. Like
snatching
up little kids.
No. Do you remember the episode that was where in Power Rangers where Goldar got his own Zord, Cyclopsis?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That was actually the final episodes of Zeo Ranger. And in that, Goldar wasn't piloting it, but it was Bandora's son.
Yep.
A 10-year-old kid was in that. And then when they blew it up, he died in her arms.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. See, that sounds really cool. If I knew the backstory of all that, like you guys just told me.
She made a whole like totem of like little children's heads. It was fucking wild.
So see, folks, when we tell you it's dark, it's dark.
What we called Lothar, which was that big floating head, his name was actually like Satanus.
Yes,
It was basically Lord Satan. That was actually his name. Not Mr. Satan, but it was actually Satan.
You mean Hercule?
Yep.
I'm just saying it was rough.
Oh man,
bro. And then in Zeo Ranger, the Red and the Green Ranger are actually brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it gets crazy, bro. It gets crazy.
See, this is cool. Now, see, my favorite is I think by far what I introduced it to my friends too, which was Gogo Sentai Deca Ranger, because this was I feel by far the best way to introduce a fan to the genre at the time. It had every element I wanted in a goofy, campy show, but then it had its absolute serious moments. You actually had focal points on the main characters, like each of the characters. And this was one of the first shows I'd seen in a long time where we had 7, right? We had 7. Was it 7 people show up? Because you had Deca Master and the Deca Ranger.
Yeah.
So we actually had the main 5, and then we had Deca Master, Doggy Kruger, the blue dog for the furry that everybody doesn't like, and when you saw it over here, or Power Rangers SPD.
Yep, SPD. Yeah.
SPD was actually SPD was actually considered. A lot of people liked SPD better than Deca Ranger, to the point they actually took SPD and redubbed that into Japanese and aired that over there as well.
No shit.
Interesting, because I would say 1000% I loved that show way more, because I think Asuka Banban, the Red Ranger, he was the character I loved the most. I think the Jasmine and Umiko, they were the Pink and Yellow Rangers. They have that whole singing episode, which I think is by far the best team up episode you can give two characters. Like they have to they do like a whole like kind of almost fusion style dance, and they beat, because the male heroes lose their ability to transform. I think there was their power up mode wasn't my favorite though. I think that it was one of those shows that it lacked the factor of like stepping up.
And you're not wrong, and that's where SPD actually kind of countered that one by having the whole versus A squad.
Yeah, right.
A squad versus B squad. I mean, for A squad they reused the armor from Power Rangers in Space to make those suits, and then there was actually an original Ranger team, but that concept apparently was really popular in Japan, and because of the lack of that power up, they used that as a actual focal point of having an adversary.
See, I like hearing that though, because I didn't even know that much. Like at that point, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm a little bit of an elitist at that time. I was very much nose in the air. If it wasn't from Japan, I wasn't gonna watch it. The fact that when it came stateside, I was able to get the license, so I could be like, was it Taiho Shichaosu? You're under arrest, and you can push the little thing down, because I love that factor. And what I said in Japanese is "you're under arrest." So I think it was cool. It lacked elements that I loved in, when the Green Ranger came, we had the Green Ranger armor for Zeo Ranger. You've seen in other shows where they get like a significant power up, and like this show, the power creep wasn't there. It was like, it was their Zords got upgraded, they didn't get upgraded. And I know in America they had like that SWAT armor, like I know red, pink, and yellow had that here in the States. And I remember seeing the figures at Toys R Us where they had like that cool looking looked like body armor with like a big gun.
Yeah, that's the Battleizer. That was again, that was US exclusive.
And see, that's cool stuff that I never knew about, because I never got into it. Like, I know Dave's probably rolling right now, like, "Oh my God, Dre, how could you not know this?" Yes, I know, Dave. You're my fan of American stuff. So I just no, I'm not. No, not you, Dave. No. It's it's the other Dave.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Double D. I'll call him Double D. D. Dave's Dimension. He's the one that's probably rolling right now, making fun of me, because he knows
Single D. Maybe more of a C.
Giggity? No. We're gonna leave that one alone. We don't touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But do you guys see what we're talking about when we're like, these are shows that are actually 3 different generations too. You're talking old Jetman to the newer at the time in the early 90s, Zeo Ranger, to what was in the early 2000s in Tokusho Sentai. Sorry, I had it wrong. It's Tokusho Sentai Deca Ranger, which was that was the show. And look at who came through, my boy Mario. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Because I am streaming this on my channel as well. So
nice.
Now, this is one that was kind of funny, because both Tats and True, when I talked to them, they said the same show. So I was like, perfect. I'll just slap both their names on it. And
because 5 is fire, dog.
No, he had a lightsaber. The fact that my man, when he henshined, he'd pull out the freaking and it didn't have that. It sounded like a problem. Like when that sword came out,
it was business, bro.
It was business.
And when he got in his stands and that fucking light went to his leg, you know you're about to get your shit rocked.
I loved it because of the way like they darkened all the screen, so like all you see is him, and then it was just like the light would come. Like they really made you get invested in that
Mhm.
25 minutes. Mind you, folks, all the shows we're
fuck
talking
this. I'm
about.
watching Fies again.
This is 25-minute long episodes. Can you believe this? That this is what we were invested in, and these were weekly episodic shows. So most definitely, and obviously, Kamen
I
Rider
agree.
Black. Oh, RX RX definitely had a dope intro song, 100%. But I have to talk about Kamen Rider Black because I feel like this is the one of the older shows from that era that gets the most love in the sense of merchandise. Yeah, the dude,
She gets dark.
I mean, it's a whew. Folks. If you're not prepared to go in there, what's up? Oh, look at this. We're all doing well, man. It's Saturday, man. You hanging out with us. We appreciate you, and we'll come. But Black was one of those shows that I would say recently. Like I know Hot Toys just re-released another version of this figure. That's 1/6 scale, and it looks awesome. And if you guys are fans of these figures, I say buy them because Metacom used to be the company.
I had the demo and it was trash. The suit started flaking. Yeah, I just gave it to one of my homies. I was like, "You want this deno?" He's like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, just fucking take it."
Kind of funny because that's my show, and it was a hard pick for me. But what I can say about Black is you're not going to find the driver, and it's so the older shows. If you are a fan, there was a company, Bandai had started releasing older drivers, but they made them in a smaller scale. So they're not fully functional. Like they light up, but they're not like the drivers I took out to show you. So it's a lot harder to come by the older ones if they're still functioning. And if they are, they're going to go for a very strong price, and you'll only find them overseas in Japan. So if you are looking at like a proxy website, I would strongly suggest, and we might even do an episode about getting stuff like that. Oh, look at that. CT Toys Hush Superman.
Yeah, I got the Mayfix.
Yeah, I have the Mayfix one of that one too. It's a good figure.
It's a good figure. CT Toys make solid shit. Like you could put them next to Mayfix and you really won't be able to tell much of a fucking difference, except until you bend the knees. When you bend the knees, they got these weird fucking cuts that Mayfix doesn't have. I will say that.
Smell. Much. I have said the smell. You could definitely smell like
the CT Toy smells like burnt tires.
You gotta put them in the garage and let them degas, basically.
Yeah. For that doesn't know that, you do have to go into you. I've noticed the smell can be very potent once it comes out the box at your house. Exactly what True said. You throw it if you have a garage. Open your garage and just leave it in there and just let it air out for at least a couple hours.
Or if you're feeling brave, huff that shit. Fuck it. See what happens. Let me know.
So we're talking about Kamen Rider Black, by the way. One of the things that's neat about that show is not only do you have the main hero, but it's one of the shows that I want to say it's the first show that had a true dark rider, an evil version of it.
Yeah,
which was called Shadow Moon.
Shadow Moon.
They actually used the Shadow Moon costume for Black for Masked Rider in the U.S. They called him Robo Rider, but the idea was that they're basically the yin and yang. Kamen Rider Black, which Black stood for Black Sun, and then it was Black Sun versus Shadow Moon. They were literally the two brothers kind of to go after each other. So
speaking of Black Sun, Shadow Moon's henshin on Black Sun is fucking crazy when he's just like destroying the guy's head and just next thing you know he's a Kamen Rider. That shit was amazing.
And then they made a more adult version of Kamen Rider Black called Black Sun, and it's on Amazon right now if you want to watch it.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch it. And that one, people are getting this fucking dismembered. It's fucking great.
It is by far, and I would say if I speak for all three of us, I think it's probably one of the best remasters, like in modern film with the modern animation, showing the depth with like the story and the music. And you guys all know I'm a big cinephile. I love my stuff when it comes to movies like that. But I think going to Amazon and watching that, you're just gonna it'll make you want to watch the show. It'll make you go down the rabbit hole.
You'll see like the stuff that I like. It has a lot of the things that have these dark characters, the fallen characters to it. Yes, I do prefer a more mature theme for them, even though this is a kids show. I know it, but then again, I collect kids' toys.
Yeah, that's we all kind of do. Like it's
Mhm.
I think that I think anybody like I took out belts that are meant for like my 6-year-old to wear, you
Mhm.
Yeah.
know. And
I have
I
all 3
honestly
Wolverines, but
ex-
I wasn't sure
uh,
if he was asking me. The
uh,
Wolverine, blue one, and the brown one.
yeah, I've seen the CT toy. I know that they did with just to get off this tangent. CT Toys did also metal claws on one of their variants, and or if not, there was a company that made metal claws for the CT Toys one that you could actually swap them out. So
Yeah. I
it's
dropped my blue one and the fucking arm blew up, but I put it back together and it was fine.
Mhm.
so I mean, yeah, the toys are what they are. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
go
but
ahead.
then, so why do you like again? We talked. I know we've talked about RX. We've talked about. I know Tats and I. We've already touched on
On the
Kamen
5s.
Rider Fives. How we like how it's the dark themes to it. It's got these. And I said you like Den O, which I said is one of the first of the more
Honestly,
kid friendly ones. What makes Den O up there for you?
so
The Imagines.
it really is. Honestly, like I had to weigh this out because I sat there and originally Deno was not there. It was Kabuto.
Mhm.
Kabuto was
Mm.
there, and Kabuto for me was my. I cosplayed as Tendo at Otakon in 2000 ish, right? The year after the show came out, I actually had the driver, and I bought the extenders and everything. I cosplayed as him, and it had such an impact on me. But Deno was the first show that I could give to anybody that's never watched Kamen Rider or has seen Power Rangers and wanted to get into this. And Deno was the entry show to that because I said it's not dark enough, but the comedy and the
Mhm.
character, the main writer, like he's not even like think about it. He's the one of the first characters in a long time. This is now, mind you, O's and all the other characters. We can talk about that later. But he's that first one. He rode a bike. He was just like, I'm not a hero. And I
Yep.
felt like the Imagines, being that they had to make a deal, a contract with him, you know, they Momotaro's by far my favorite character.
Yep.
The sword form. He's the red demon that Tats was shown before. That's Momotaro's. He's his main form, the red form that you see on the screen.
Yep. Sword form,
He's sword form. Now there's axe form, then there's
gun form,
gun form, and then
and
there's
rod form.
rod form. Now there
Mhm.
is another form that was from the movie that was the owl that we don't
Mhm.
nobody really liked that form, and it was only in now mind you there's like 3 Deno movies and Owl was in 2 of them, but Owl was like literally there and then gone, never
I
really
vaguely
used.
remember that one.
Yeah, and it wasn't really like it was kind of like a Imagine that was in the background. The one other Imagine I liked was Zeranos. Now
Yes.
Zeranos was dope.
Zeranos is the one that was the secondary rider in this series, but his story was tragic because every
Mhm.
time he would use his powers, he was weakening himself
He was dying. Yeah.
and he's dying. And his Imagine could not figure out a way to try to keep him alive. And I
Mhm.
mean, he had a
Literally,
two-handed sword. He was like dope.
literally his for him to change, he would and to use any of his abilities, he actually had a limited, like almost like you call it a deck of cards.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
every time he would put a card down, it would be taking time from his actual time from his life. And then
Yep.
after that, it
Damage.
was then actually taking people's memories of him. So eventually, for him to use, he would not just be removing his life; he would be removing his actual
Yeah.
existence.
Existence. Yep.
And that was
It was
made
dark.
things very added that additional weight that kind of came out of nowhere.
And it felt like
Yeah.
Deno was always trying to tell him, like, don't transform, don't help me. And because Deno had a base form, which was just an all
Platform.
black form,
Yeah.
and that form was his weakest form, where he didn't have the super speed or the strength. And
Mhm.
it's something that there's something to be said for a character that's willing to go the extra mile with no power to go defend good people.
Mhm.
But
And I
platform, he was kind of running away most of the time,
oh yeah,
right?
platform
Yeah, yeah.
was is
He
like
was
I got to get to the
getting
bike,
fucked up.
and
Yeah.
he had to run. But
Yeah. Until he
you
hit
know,
sword form or axe form or some shit. Then he was fucking shit up.
and Momotaro. So the voice of the Imagines, the people that would make the deals to help him, they would give him his power and they would talk. So he would be like, his sword form would be like Ore no Husatsu, like basically sword attack #1. And then he would always, when he got powered up, his attacks would go like level 2, and he would come up with a whole new phrase. So if you're a Rurouni Kenshin fan, definitely that. And then the hip hop, if you're into hip hop, Gunform was a break dancer.
Was a break dancer, yeah. Gunform is so fucking dope.
I am kind of surprised that they never made a Devil May Cry clone from Den-O.
They did that with Kiva.
Right, but it would work better with Den-O.
I agree with you. It would definitely work better in Den-O, but Kiva, I think, was that because they wanted to do the Universal Monsters, and that's why that was. And I felt that was the lightest of them all. Now, mind you, vampires, right, folks? I'm mentioning vampires and werewolves and Frankenstein, but that show was the lightest outside of this one. But I think they all have their elements of where like you kind of feel a little sad for somebody in the characters. But yeah,
just to throw it out there, I think third party right now owns the market. Just gonna throw it out there.
That's all. That bring me in for that. Bring me in for that show.
Yeah, we should. We don't really talk toys on here, but if y'all are interested in ever doing an episode about knockoffs and third parties, I have no problems talking with Tats and us kind of breaking the fourth wall on that, or breaking our rule on that, I should say. But
I love third party, dude. I save money and I get dope shit. Sign me the fuck up.
All right. Now these are some shows that I kind of had to pull from the.
Is that Blazar? Ultraman Blazar?
Yeah, that's Ultraman Blazar.
That's the newest one. Yeah.
And Gavan. So I know that True had talked to me about this, and I had reached out because we couldn't really figure it out. No, Billy, don't, bro. That's the part of this too. It's a hangout. Like you hang out.
Yeah, it's a hangout, brother. We vibing.
We vibing on this. You vibing on that, and you learn something. That's all that matters.
This is the OG Ultraman right here.
And I love that Ultraman. I do not have that one yet. It will be in my collection one day. But I want True to go to his memories because I consider Garo the Buffy the Vampire Slayer of the tokusatsu world. So I'm gonna have to step away for a second.
We're excited for you, brother.
But I want you guys I want True to talk about Garo. I'll be right back.
Well, Garo is neat because the guy who created it did a lot.
I haven't seen Garo since COVID, bro.
Yeah, Garo. It's basically literally all these shows, but an actual adult theme. I mean, it's ultra violent, dark horror, and yeah, there's even a little bit of boobage in it, folks. You get a little bit of everything you want. It was always shown late at night. The guy who created it did some very cool stuff in the 90s. Some of you got, if you're old geek like I am, like he made the Zerum and Zerum 2 movies, which were kind of, again, Japanese superhero-esque. And then he also did a movie called Metal Violator Hokkaider, which is taking a Metal Hero show.
I've seen that one.
And making it ultra dark.
Hokkaider,
I loved that movie, Hokkaider. But so this guy took all these concepts and moved it up, took it up a notch with the saga called Garo. Basically, the main character would fight these demons. Oh, geez. It just started thundering down here.
Oh, hold up.
Sorry.
You're breaking up.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. There we go. We got you back.
It just started thundering here, so sorry about that. The idea is he's a demon hunter, and he is chasing down all these various nightmares. And he would fight them hand to hand, and then once things got too crazy, he would literally pull out a sword, spin it around, and in this case, golden wolf theme armor would then encase him. And again, awesome fight choreography. I mean, when I'm talking, there's some dark concepts. One episode, this guy would be making there was a woman in front of him, and he was making a sculpture of her, and it basically turned it into a voodoo doll. When then he would like take the arm and he would move it, her arm would move and she wouldn't control it. And then all of a sudden he took it and broke it. And you heard her scream. And then he started breaking other limbs on her meticulously. And you're just like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there's a secondary character named Zero, who was the Silver Knight, who was actually in I don't know if you recognize him, but he was in Fies as the Dragon Orphanok.
Oh, no shit.
Yes. So
that's wild.
And they've made multiple Garo TV shows, multiple Garo movies. They even made an anime kind of prequel side story as well. I would say if you didn't want to deal with the kiddie stuff, I would absolutely recommend watching Garo. I think it's on Shout TV off the top of my head. If not, it may be on Amazon. Right now, these licenses are starting to pass around.
They're all over the place. Yeah, they're all, because I went back to try to watch Kamen Rider Amazons, and it's not on my region.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for them, because if Garo is the adult version of Kamen Rider, I would love for them to then take that concept to an ultra version of that. Because I know we have Ultraman Next. That still has always been a kid, even though it's always been kind of kiddie.
Yeah, all the Ultraman ones. I don't think Subaraya is gonna fucking do that and make them go like rip people apart, which I wish they fucking did.
And it was kind of funny. Do you remember the movie Ultraman the Next?
I do.
Yep.
Do you know who directed the Next?
I do not remember the director.
Takahashi Miki, the same guy who did Ichi the
Killer.
Oh, no shit.
Yo, he has another movie coming out.
Ichi the Killer is dope.
Takahashi Miki is kind of like Robert Rodriguez. He either will do the ultra violent or do the most amazing kids movies.
Yes.
That's basically how he is. He either does one or the other.
He needs to find the middle ground.
Traumatize you or make you or nurture you.
Well, I do know that, just because you mentioned that, Takahashi Miike is actually going to be doing a new movie coming out later this year. It's a Yakuza, an ex-Yakuza lieutenant, a FBI agent, and a police officer in Japan, like teaming up in like this kind of like revenge film. And from the trailer I saw yesterday, I was like, "Oh shit!" It looks really good.
Wait a minute. Is that Bad Lieutenant?
Yes, Bad Lieutenant. Thank you.
Liv Morgan, WWE's Liv Morgan is in that movie.
Yep.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. So
Takahashi Miki, again, I could do a whole show on his stuff, but in the late 90s, early 2000s, he did so much of those Yakuza movies. If you've ever played any of the Like a Dragon games, he actually directed the Like a Dragon movie. Okay.
Oh, word?
Yes. That tells you how he is on that genre.
Yeah, he loves.
I know just from Ichi the Killer, that shit was wild.
Yeah, he did Tetsuo
He didn't do Tetsuo the Iron Man.
No, not. I'm saying in that genre. I know he did something. There's another movie that he did. Cause my friend gave me a bunch of movies back in the day. Well, we can say bootlegged movies, and I remember he put like that, Ichi the Killer, and then there was another movie. Now, mind you, I could be wrong. That there's another movie that he did, because I know he didn't do Tetsuo the Iron Man, but he did something else that was another in that vein of Ichi the Killer.
Was it Fudo the Next Generation?
It might have been. I have to find it because I have the DVD around this house. But I was listening because I had to help the young one to use the bathroom. So that's why I had to help her. So I apologize.
No worries.
I had daddy duty. But I was listening while I was doing that, and I want to just compliment you. True, that was the most eloquent way to put Garo, because I absolutely loved what you said. It is, if you really want to get past the anime stuff, because there's 3 different anime shows. 2 of them are extremely good. They're in the vein of if the Red Ranger. So I'll put it this way: if you like the Red Ranger Isekai that was from last year, and if you like the Kamen Rider cartoon,
Futopai.
Yes, if you like that, then you will love Garo. The earlier 2. The more recent one is very geared more towards children. and I would stay away from that because it's not really. It's Garo very like
it got pretty dark. It got dark.
But the kids version, I think the 2 anime ones that were
No,
early.
the 3rd anime one is not the best. It's the weakest of all of them. I'm just saying it. I wouldn't call it a kids one. It's just different.
It's different. I think the shows are very, like he said, there was a lot of movies. Garo has had a few TV shows, done a lot more movies, and if it's something that you're interested in, I definitely would give it a watch. His hand also talks to him because his hand, it's like Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, no, it's a ring.
He's got it's the ring. Sorry, the ring. So if you like Vampire Hunter D, where the hand was talking, the ring does the talking in this one. So if you want to correlate something, it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Now I didn't see Mebius or Blazer. Sorry,
Blazer. No, I'm not.
I like the
they
figures.
gotta look cool. Yeah, they gotta look cool. Like I wasn't care, but this is my favorite recent one, Reboot. From Ultra Galaxy Fight. That's my dude right there. The first Malaysian Ultraman.
Nice. Look at that. See? Didn't even know that. See, Ultraman's I'm new to the fandom for Ultraman.
Yeah, then there's Jeed. Jeed is the man.
That one I wanted to get when they put out the what was it? 3-0 did the 1/6 scale toys, and he was dope.
Yeah, and the Belial 3-0 looks crazy.
Yep, I have Belial 112, the SH Figs.
Yep, and then I have Trigger, which is basically cool. Tiga.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it looked like Tiga.
Yeah, it's basically Tiga, kind of. It's like I couldn't really get into it too much, but I like the way he looks.
Now, if you guys are interested in Ultraman, there are a lot of Ultraman. There's the animated series that is on Netflix, which is actually quite good.
Yeah,
I would not. It's not the best, but if you can't find Ultraman to watch,
hold up. Netflix Ultraman was solid, bro. For what it is,
it is for what it is. I agree with. I'm 100% with it. It's
based off a manga.
Yeah,
it was based off the manga. Yeah.
Was it Ultraman Taro? Because I have that figure.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Taro figure, dope. And Taro's dope. And then I also have Jack with the
Jack is
that
dope
looks like
too.
the Hulk Buster.
So those are all they're basically the OGs. Jack, Taro, Ace, regular Ultraman.
I mean, you got to remember, Ultraman started out in the 60s and has literally been almost consistent from the 60s to today.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably of all of them the longest history.
I think it has to be the longest running. It has to be the longest running.
If I liked any of them, I mean, there's so many of them because of course they changed the costume, changed the merchandise. Again, it goes through every era. They've got some of them where they took different twists on them, whether it be having new characters meeting the old characters. I mean, you got someone like Ultraman Leo, who was actually an alien pretending to be an Ultraman.
Pretending to be
trained by a previous Ultraman who had the hell kicked out of him from a creature. I had trouble getting into it personally because there was never much of a real adversary as opposed to Sentai, where there was always like the Rita Repulsa like character.
Yeah, it's a monster of the week.
It's a very monster of the week. It's literally the creator of the monster of the week trope.
Yep.
It wasn't until those movies with Ultraman Zero where Belial came in as the final time we got an actual adversary, which was very cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
And Belial is a beautiful character design. It's got he actually has a good story of why he's a villain.
Yep.
So which was actually a lot more depth than they've given any others. Before it was just an Ultraman versus the forces of nature.
Yeah.
The Zeton, for example, was the final monster of the week in the first series of Ultraman, and he was the first one who beat him.
He's kind of the one ongoing one would be Zeton.
Zeton and
Mephilas or something like that.
With the crab dude. I know this is my second time doing a crab reference, but
I know who you're talking about. I can't fucking remember, but I know exactly who you're talking about because they made a reference of him on Dandaran. Fuck. But this is Zeton with the glowing titties. Yeah, he got glowing titties. I'm not even joking. See, glowing titties.
Look at them T-towels. See, folks?
So Ultraman is I can't get. That's one of the reasons why I had trouble getting into it because it's so open ended.
Mm-hmm.
But again, beautiful. But he's kind of always the underdog because he always goes with his time limit, even though he's the hero.
Yeah, if you want to see really good recent one is Ultra Galaxy Fight, Absolute Tartarus. That shit, that whole I think it's like 3 different movies. That whole shit is fire. All of it is fire.
So I am gonna say my foray into Ultraman was literally Mebius. I got like 3 episodes in, and I much like True was saying, I kind of couldn't get into it because it was Monster of the Week, right? But then you get into the toys, and when we get into toys, and I know we're not a toy channel, but when we do, the toys kind of sold me. I was like, man, this guy, Ultraman Blazar looks really dope. And SH Figure Arts, we all know they ain't cheap.
No.
Amazon ran them for like $40, and I was like, you know what? I was like, let me get them. And my wife's like, hey, your birthday's coming up. I'll buy you that one, and if you find another one. So I picked up the dragon that's in the back of him, Garan. And I have those too.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, for anybody that loves like kaiju style figures, they are so beautiful. Like Garan looks like if you took a Mecha Godzilla, that's the base figure for a Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, pretty much.
They actually now this is one I just learned about a month ago. In the original Ultraman series, one of the monsters of the week that he fought was literally they used a Godzilla costume, except they then put a collar around it and painted it like with yellow highlights.
Yep, so, and one of the monsters that's always there, I can't remember his name. It looks like Godzilla, but it just has a horn.
Yeah,
like that's the only difference. I think it's like Gomo or something like that. I can't remember the name.
There is definitely, if you like the kaiju, then Ultraman is going to be your, because they have some of the craziest kaiju designs. They have some that are imposing, and there are some that are just like, what the hell?
And what's super
and also the Shin Ultraman movie too. The Shin Ultraman movie is fucking dope. So if you haven't seen that, check that shit out. It's by the same dude that created Evangelion. So you already know it's gonna get weird.
He did all 3. He did a Shin Godzilla,
Shin Kamen Rider,
and Shin Ultraman.
The whole Shin universe that gets weird when they all transform into one weird mecha, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be.
Toy.
That shit was just weird. That shit was weird as fuck.
What's interesting about Ultraman's universe is that a lot of the times there is more of a human element to it that I think is really cool. Like sometimes the Ultraman is not a person from Earth, and that they're trying to adapt to human society. So there is a cool element of like, kind of like, I don't want to say Superman, like I'm from Krypton. They don't want to take over, but they want to just like be a part of society because they find something in human culture. Like kind of currently with Teo, which is kind of keeping me into the loop with why I like Teo so much. Because I feel like, wow, this is actually really cool. Like the guy's like, I want to study the galaxy, and you have a university.
But that's honestly all of them. Like even the very first one with Shin Hayata, like he basically gave himself up to save humanity. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the same thing with almost all of them. They either come to Earth or they possess someone. It's one or the other. Because 7 was the same thing. They came and possessed them. I think it wasn't until like Ace that, Ultraman Ace, which is Ultraman the second in the United States, that it was an actual person from the land of light that came down and took a human form.
Oh, and for anybody that's interested in Ultraman in more comic book form, if you don't want to watch it, there is a crossover in the Marvel run that just happened where they did the Stan Lee, because may rest in peace. Stan Lee was a huge fan of Tokusatsu and Sentai. So there is an Ultraman comic book run, and there is an Ultraman with the Avengers crossover. So if you are interested in that, because there was a Godzilla and Avengers crossover. So definitely check those out. They both came out this past year. And I know Godzilla was the end of last year with the Marvel Universe. So definitely check that out. The last one I'm going to briefly mention because I don't feel like we kind of already touched on it with Metal Heroes. Gavan, Gavan, I feel like was one of those shows that was before my time of getting into Sentai, and I got into Sentai like the only time I remember Gavan being named outside of VR Troopers was in Gokaiger, where they had the Gokaiger Gavan movie, where the original actor in the suit came out, and him and Captain Marvelous team up to basically save the world. And I thought that was kind of a cool way to introduce me to a character I never grew up with. But if you watch VR Troopers, Gavan was pretty much the kid that was the martial artist. That was his character. And it's an interesting show. It is on YouTube, so you can look for episodes and watch it. If you don't mind the hokiness of it, it's Metal Heroes. It's human or robot that wants to save humanity.
It's not the hokiest of Metal Hero stuff, trust me.
Oh no, there's a lot worse. No. There's a lot worse. But I felt like these were kind of like good for us. And then I want to kind of cover some of the newer ones, which we've mentioned. Now, we haven't talked about it, but I know that Gavan, which just recently apparently has wrapped up because it was doing terrible. It is the first of So I want to kind of get opinions on this, but we're going to give people context. So earlier this spring was officially the hiatus begins, what they call the end of the Sentai era. So the Ranger era has now been completed, and it's going to go into hiatus for however long the creators want to go. It may not be too long, hence why I'm prefacing with this show, because Gavan, as dope as this, and that's the first show we're pointing at right here, Gavan looks visually beautiful. Toys, amazing.
The suit,
amazing.
Insane, yeah.
The enemies, awesome. The story, non-existent. I didn't
watch it. I just watched some of the trailers and I was like, that's dope. I don't care.
But see, that's bad because this show is marketed to us, right? To the fans. And if I tried, I gave it 2 episodes. I usually give things 3. When I could not, like, you're kind of thrust into the universe, which
I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind a medias res trying to figure things out.
Man?
Hey, Dead Man. I don't mind the sometimes I don't mind that, but when I feel like it's a brand new show, like I think the Sentai formula and the Kamen Rider formula, you never thrust it in. Like they give you a little bit of like a, hey, the world has kind of been like this, and hey, we've now witnessed the aliens coming in. True. Like give me like a 30-second kind of info dump. I guess that's the educator in me. Info dump me give me the background information that I should know before getting me into the world building that you've already established that like these heroes existed. Because Gavan Infinity is not, from what I've read, is not tied to Gavan. That's what
I don't know anything about it because I just honestly saw the trailers and I was like, it was
a
cool.
It was a reboot. It was a reboot just in name only. And that's kind of a tragedy to it. Then we got this new one. I've been seeing clips of this
Omega
Horn that I cannot make heads or tails of what it wants to be.
Okay, so
basically kaiju Pokemon.
Thank you. It's exactly that.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Kaiju Pokemon, bro.
And this is what I think.
Even the dude looks like Armored Ash.
Yes. Okay, I saw that. That's exactly the thought that went through my head.
Have you seen the Reddit memes?
No.
There's a flood of Reddit memes that have been like, hey, look, it's Monster Hunter Power Rangers. Oh, hey, look, it's Pokemon.
Which, by the way, I'd play a PlayStation game of that if it's done right.
Dude, I'd play any game like that. But do we watch? Okay, so let's pause for that. What is it? Do we watch any of the older Sentai adjacent stuff like Redman, Inframan, Spectreman? So we mentioned that
I
earlier.
watched Inframan.
Spectreman. Spectreman. Yes, I watched that show.
So I'm gonna sound like a complete loser right now. I did not.
You're not
It's
a
all
complete
good.
loser. I'm the loser for remembering this stuff. Okay.
No.
Spectrum Man was
You're in my book. You're freaking awesome right now because like
Turner.
I'm usually
Spectre
one
Man
that
was
knows.
it was brought over from Japan. It was basically an Ultraman knockoff,
Yep.
and it was brought and Turner brought it over. I want to say it was Ted Turner brought it over for their daytime programming, and it was actually they actually brought the entire show over and did the dub on it. I think it was called like Mighty Gorilla Goji, where basically the protagonists were these like Planet of the Apes like guys who were using pollution to cause, because they were basically eco terrorists who were mad at humanity for polluting the world, and so they used pollution to make their monster of the week. And Spectre Man was part of the international, space police, basically sent him down. The kind of gimmick was for him to transform, he literally would have to ask permission to transform. He didn't have a device. As I said, he was kind of an Ultraman knockoff, but he actually, one thing about his character design was carried over to a lot of popular anime, because he was actually the first guy to actually have forearm blades.
No, the Space Gorillas were the bad guys.
Yeah, the Space Gorillas were the bad guys because they were still trying to defeat humanity. But you think the Guyver, those blades that come out of the Guyver's arm, Spectre Man was actually the first character to have that.
That is Sentai, folks. I don't care what. And I will die on that.
And the theme song is just bombing. Just go look up the Spectre Man theme. It was great. It'll be in your head.
I'm gonna have to.
Yes, you do.
And sadly, I'm gonna say this. I've seen a lot of the Toku fans across and the Sentai fans recently go on tirades about maybe this should not.
I don't disagree. Humanity sucks.
If it was now, imagine that now.
Bro, in 2026, I will be cheering on those fucking Space Gorillas.
Come on, Gorillas.
All day.
Take me with you.
All day, bro. Fuck humanity. Fucking burning them all.
But
what up, Dave?
Hey, this is my personal feelings. I feel like this company, Project Red, which is obviously the company that's doing all of these, it feels, I'm going to get a lot of hate for probably saying this. It feels too AI story created. There is no connection, human connection that I feel to the characters. I'm usually one that if you sell me on the merch by the show, I'm going to go buy your merch. Gavan Infinity, the characters, designs, they look so cool. I want the figures. But like, I don't care about the Henshin, which is this large cannon of a ship that you got to spend like $200 on, and you're buying all these little capsules that don't really tie into anything. Omega Horn, it's the same thing. It's like each creature.
Has that released yet? Omega Horn?
Yeah, you can on Amazon. If you look at the toys, they're all up online. You can get them.
No, I mean the show itself. Has it released yet?
It's up to 5 episodes now. We're at 5 episodes. Yes.
Is it any good? No. Just say no.
Yeah. Do you like the look on my face? Like, yeah. I'm gonna
I've
say
seen clips of it. The Gavan, again, you saw the clips. The clips look cool. Then you watch the show and you're like, what just happened? I watched the clips of Omega Horn and I am just like, as he said, it looks more like AI slop because it's like, it doesn't know what it wants to be, because you got a guy wearing cool armor on with a giant bullhorn, calling these things, fighting other people with bullhorns. And it's like, listen, I'm already blurring things with the writers.
Yeah.
Certain
other it's like there just doesn't seem to be any kind of logic. It's like, does it want to be a freaking Zoids? Does it want to be a Metal Hero? Does it want to be it doesn't know what it wants to be.
So I feel like they're trying to universe build because Gavan failed. And I feel like this is another failure. It's not going to make any more episodes. I don't feel that it will do well.
It's not going to be the next franchise. No,
it's not a franchise.
I didn't care from any of the clips that I saw. I was like, it's just kaiju Pokemon. I don't care for this.
So there's a guy I follow on Instagram. I'm sorry I don't know your handle on IG, but I will mention you again sometime in the future. He posted a video clip from an episode where the hero, the Ash looking dude, he's like basically lost his Omega Horn, and he's got he's getting, I guess, a new creature, Pokemon. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he's got the capsule in his hand, and he's like, the people are telling him, because people know who he is. Like, they know who Ash Ketchum is in Pokemon. They know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on, man, you got to save us. And he's like, well, I have to do this because it's right to save the people. I'm like, what? Like, dude, the
that does
writing
sound like some AI slop.
It sounds like the writing is just so bad. And it's like, if this is a kid show, I put Peanut. I tested the theory. I said, let me put my 6-year-old in front of this. And dude, she looked at it, saw the opening, watched like the first 2 minutes of it with no volume. I shut the volume. I don't, the subtitles are playing. She doesn't have to read it. She's just looking at it. She's like, this. She's like, okay. And she went back to go do what she was doing. Yeah. She did not care. I was like, if this is what you're marketing to, you failed. The 6-year-old did not get enticed by your colors.
And you know what? I hate to say, sometimes you got to, I can understand with the Sentai, that formula was like 40 years of Monster of the Week, come up with the forms, come up with the mecha, come up with some kind of twist, bring in the 6th guy. Which side is he? You can only do that so many times. But at the same time, at least if you're going to pull some tropes up for bringing back the nostalgia of Metal Heroes, they still have their own tropes. I'm going to say something controversial here.
Please do it. Go ahead.
I'm in this podcast. It can't get any more controversial.
G.I. Joe. Anyway,
the real American douchebag will do it once for the fucking chat.
I just had to do it once. There's one of the common writers that doesn't get mentioned a lot, and there's a reason for it, to be honest, because it was just so out of theme. Is one called Common Writer Forza.
Oh, Forza.
Yes. Now, I liked Forza, but I literally had to tell myself, this is not a Common Writer show.
No.
It was a Metal Hero show in every which way, shape, and form. Yep. He never even, I think he rode the bike once, maybe twice.
He had all those rockets and shit.
He put on the armor. He summoned the armor, fought the Monster of the Week, had everything was technology based. He was, the driver wasn't even really a driver. Yes, well, it was a transformation device. Everything was augmented to it. I look at that versus, honestly, Gavan. He had all the gear to it.
But we actually cared about him, though.
What I'm saying, though, is versus I'm saying the Metal Heroes of back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying Forza was more of a Metal Hero show than any of these Metal Hero shows. It was probably the least common writer show, and that's saying a lot for that era of shows.
Yeah, because you didn't really have a secondary writer in that show, because he was.
Yeah, you did. You had Meteor.
No, you did.
Oh, yeah, Meteor. That's right. The only reason I forgot Meteor is because I had
He's formidable.
The chick. I forgot the girl. That was the girl.
That was only in the movies. The girl was only in the
movies. Oh, yep.
But and again, it's not a bad thing because it was a good show. It was just a lousy common writer.
That's interesting, though.
I stopped looking at it like a common writer show because, again, was a lot of the way the tropes were done with it, and I thought it worked better. Except instead of Star Sheriff, he was masked. He was the hall monitor because it took place in a high school.
Yeah, it was part of the space club. They were
exactly, which of course works more with Metal Heroes.
Which does work. You know what? I don't disagree with that. That's an interesting point of view.
Banging theme song.
Oh, did
Japanese ska theme song. Loved it.
Oh yeah. Now see, we've torn down 2 of these shows,
but then all down. Call me Jericho. I'll break these walls down.
we can't tear down Ultraman Teo, and I
haven't watched that one yet.
I've watched the first 3 episodes. I have the first 6 downloaded. I've watched the first 3. It is as Ultraman as I need it to be for me to keep me interested.
Okay.
And I think it's good. I'll put them on the Google Drive so you can watch them. So I'll share them with you.
Yeah. Please do.
And it's cute. It feels very much like they borrowed American tropes. Like, let's have the cute fuzzy space alien that's like, because at the end of the first episode, like he sees something like a spaceship, and when he sees the space, like he's like, I'll come back to this. And when he de-transforms from Ultraman, like, and he saves the day, he comes over and he's like, the thing hatches and it's this little cute alien, like the one that we got in the movie. The Ultraman cartoon movie that they did on Netflix. So cute little alien thing like that's in the show. I don't care about it, but I get that they're trying to keep me like, hey, look, he has something that we can probably exploit later on. That if we kidnap it or we attack it, it'll prompt him. Yeah, the MacGuffin. There we go. You know, so I think it's, to be honest, out of the three, it's the best one on TV right now.
I will not, because one, it's keeping the formula.
Yes.
So with that, it's keeping the formula. Ultraman, they just know if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Pretty much.
And the other thing about Ultraman is they never try to. They let the Ultraman audience outgrow the show, and build new fans, which I think in some ways is a better thing. Instead of being a slave to nostalgia, they make it into a comfort show.
60 plus years you've been on television.
But the thing is, though, that's 60 plus years of every parent knowing they can park their kid in front of it and they'll be entertained. That's 60 plus years of knowing that that's a kid who's going to be, Bandai knows there's a kid who's going to be tugging on mom's shirt saying, Mommy, can you buy this for me? That's 60 plus years of product. That's 60 plus years of rating. That's 60 plus years of advertising. That's 60 plus years of positive revenue. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And
agreed.
The problem
100%.
with the other two is
AI slop. Look at it. It's AI slop. I'm not gonna lie and say we don't use AI. We all do. But those posters are literally the posters that were advertised on the websites.
I just couldn't do kaiju Pokemon. I don't know if I've had enough Pokemon in my lifetime.
I look at those posters and it looks like that should be something cool. But I look at that poster. I look at Project Red, and that looks like a guy. That's going to be the next Star Wars. He's walking in front of a fleet type of thing. That ain't happening. I look at Omega Horn, and that looks like, does he turn into that monster? Is that monster his adversary?
It's his pet.
I know it's his pet. I'm just saying, like when I look at it, type of thing.
Yeah, like to get you to be interested. It's like if you don't read the language, right? So nobody, like, at least in here, there's limited Japanese kanji, right? But if you look at that poster, it's completely in kanji. There's a lot of Japanese, which I can read it.
I'll stick with the OG. I'll just stick with the OG. There you go. It just looks like a pissed off Pikachu.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong.
To be honest, you know what it looks like to me? It looks like a creature out of Monster Hunter, the video game.
You want me to be real? It looks like live action Digimon.
Yeah. No, again.
I didn't even think about it in that regard.
But that's the thing. It looks like it's trying to be. It looks like it's trying to be other things. Ultraman is still Ultraman.
Yep. Still the same exact face and eyes, pretty much. And the only thing that changes the shape and
Gridman. Even Gridman was still Ultraman-esque.
Yep.
The other ones are not.
It does fall in a weird trope. Is it a metal hero? Is SSS Gridman? Do we put that in the trope of metal hero?
It's an ultra.
It's an ultra because he transforms. But he wears a metal. But he gets suits. He wears. He does wear the mecha as an armor.
He's like in the middle of Sentai and Ultra, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, he really is.
But anyway, that's a whole different thing. And there's a reason why it was only one season and it was never touched again until they did anime. So let's
the anime is dope.
And the anime is dope. It is. But I will say this. I didn't put Kamen Rider Zets and I didn't put Kamen Rider Mice up because Kamen Rider Mice doesn't come out for 2 more weeks. So we don't have any basically mode of like referencing except save a lot of the internet conjecture, which is not doing well. This is going to be the first Kamen Rider show that I've actually heard a lot of people are really slamming it before they even get out the gate.
Yeah, because the suits suck. They do. That's why, dude. The fucking armors are terrible, bro. I'm sorry. That motherfucker looks like Cyber Tom or Cyber Jerry or whatever. Whichever one's a cat or the dog. Or
I'm going to say this. I'll go with. You didn't watch Gaim all the way through.
Fair.
And if they can pull off what they did with Gaim, if they could pull off what they did with Sentai, if you remember Tokuger, the train one.
Oh God, the one I didn't watch, Tokuger, yeah.
But the thing is, Tokuger actually had a very dark, had a dark subplot that ended up popping up in the end of it. Those suits look cheap as hell, but then it ended up being a reason for it storyline wise. So if they could, I would go. You gotta go into it. You gotta go into it until it fails. Think of it that way. You should always go into it until it fails. Gavan failed. Omega Horn has failed. The other ones, I mean, I'll be honest, you got that Ghost driver there. I tried watching Kamen Rider Ghost.
Ghost is very much piecemeal. It's very hard to watch.
I did not care for it. I'm just saying, I did not care for it. Much like Peter did not care for The Godfather, I did not care for Ghost. Especially because after the show it had followed up, because that's the one that followed Drive, and Drive was so strong. So, I mean, there are better Kamen Riders, there are worse Kamen Riders. We mentioned Hibiki. Honestly, Kiva is not considered one of the best ones either, to be frank.
Decade follows Kiva. I would consider Kiva way better than Decade.
Yeah.
Correct.
But then you got Fives before Kiva, and it's like, damn.
I know.
No. Deno was before Kiva.
Yeah, Deno's before Kiva.
Deno's before Kiva too?
Yeah, so Deno, it's Kabuto, Deno, then Kiva, then
remember,
Decade.
You gotta think Decade's final form here. You know, Kuga, Agito, Blade.
Yeah.
Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Blade. You gotta go through with your head. And you can...
Yeah, because he had because on his armor he actually had all of them. So like he was like hitting all the
but I mean, so I'm just saying, like Kiva, they had problems with on that one. I mean, the honest reason that they hated doing the costume. That's why that final form costume was so simple. They preferred doing Emperor form. It was easier for the suit actor to wear.
Sure.
But where I'm going on that was there's stronger ones, there's higher ones. You watch them until they fail. And a lot of the Kamen Riders in Decade, they actually cut that one short, if I recall.
Yeah, it only went 31 episodes. It's one of the first shows that ever did.
It only went 31 episodes. They obviously left a whole lot of script on the cutting room floor that they never even got a chance to fill out with the movies.
There was story.
You never found out why that one guy was so pissed off at him the whole time. They literally never explained it.
Yeah, Dien. We don't know why Dien hated him so much. We never understood why Kiva, the last rider. Because Kiva was
the dude in the rain jacket. You never found out why the dude in the rain jacket hated him. Well, the guy was sitting there in every episode saying, "Damn you, Decade," and he never found out why.
And I wanted to find out more about why Kiva was the one that was kind of the one that he was able to cross dimensions. And it wasn't like, I was like, what the hell is like we just finished his show, yet he feels like more of a antagonist character in this show, but we never got more details because all we would see him is show up and he would like be that spectral form of himself walking around. Like,
there was actually supposed to be a dark Decade. Like there actually was supposed to, and he was teased, and they actually made the suit and everything. And they used it in the video game, but they never actually used. Oh yeah,
because I saw the toy because it's like black and it's like the pink and the black are different. Like it's all black and it's like it looked cool.
Yeah, and again, they used it in one of the video games, but so again, they let Decade fail, but I still think it still did its job, in my opinion, of being an anniversary series. And it got to the point that they brought him back because people wanted to see how it ended. Just like with Fies, they brought him back to give him an ending.
Yeah.
And now now these nostalgia ones, they're doing a new Agito movie. Rumor has it that they're doing a Kabuto movie.
Yeah, all of them are getting. Basically everybody from that era is now getting up to. I think Deno is getting their own like kind of special. Like movie.
I think they're doing. I can't remember if they're doing a Blade.
They probably should, because that'd be fire to watch.
You know, Ryuki actually got mentioned in Geats.
Yes,
they actually had him versus my personal favorite Ryuki rider. They had the one Buffo versus Kamen Rider Wuja, who is like the Snake guy. In fact, the Snake guy got his own little like original video special.
Yeah,
they always get their spin-offs,
But specifically, and he's considered one of the most vicious riders. You know, they actually did do the Fies one, they brought the actor back for Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that good, and it still didn't
No.
explain a lot of things.
Yep.
A freaking deal with the butterfly girl. They never explain that girl.
You gotta love our nerddom, folks. When we can go that deep into lore and be able to pull, like, why didn't they do this? This is what the people argue with Game of Thrones, comic books, just so you guys have points of context.
Yeah.
Of
So I mean, the way it used to be wasn't perfect,
but this shit was
today,
slop. This shit.
I'm just gonna say that if this new Mice is right up here with Project Red,
so it's not done by them. So
Yeah.
Mice is the Toei is all Toei Bandai.
right? I'm just saying.
Toei, yeah.
I'm just saying if it stays in
but in the same level.
So
same level.
So I'll put it to you this way:
take a break, save your money, and there's other cool things to watch out there.
So have you guys watched Zets or Zets? I think Zets is okay. I don't love it.
I'm waiting for it to finish so I can binge it.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I mean, Zets, it reminds me of 01 when I look at the suit design.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I love it, but the story is where I don't love it.
I watched the first episode when it premiered, and I thought it was pretty cool because it was like a detective type of vibe. So it was like between 01 and W, but...
So do you know, did you find out, you haven't found out that it's the dream world? That's what So when he dreams, that's what he wants to be, as a super, like basically like James Bond.
Yeah.
And that's the only way he gets his powers is from the dream world. And then like he has
that's
like
the only reason why I'm waiting to binge it, because that didn't really like attract me a whole lot.
Now it's cool because like there is like a base of operations that he can go to, that he has like avatars of the people from the real world that are like playing the characters from the movie in his dreams that he's playing through. And it gets very weirdly dark, like, because a lot of people I've watched a lot of the influencers, because I've kind of like taken breaks of watching it because I'm just like, this is not good, and it's like, oh, it's okay. It's the action is there for Kamen Rider. The action's there. I don't like this weird storytelling, like this odd duality of like him having his regular day job, but like as a regular like kind of salary man kind of dude, but then he has to go to sleep to wake up, and like now he's like, because in like later episodes he starts teaming up with a cop who is kind of keeping tabs on these people that fall asleep and never wake up again. It's a series of all these people in the hospital. Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of weird elements that I'm like, but then the writers in the show, like when you actually get to the henshin and the background story, you're like, okay, I can, like Gaim, I'm gonna give it the college try. I'm willing to give the college try.
Yeah, give Gaim the college try. Don't worry about the watermelon arms where he has the giant suit. When they break out the lemons actually get kind of
durian arms. The dude with the freaking mace gets a big ass durian. That's kind of a cool look. For those of you that don't know Durian,
he doesn't have a mace. He's got dual swords.
Oh yeah, what? So who has the mace? Because it's a durian.
The acorn guy. The acorn guy is wielding a sledgehammer.
Oh shit.
Yes, just watch the show. I think I'm gonna get a text for you saying, what the hell did I just
I have it. I have it on my drive right there. I will start. I know where I left off, so I will jump back into Gaim.
You got these all on a drive. Can you send me a link?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, no, I have it on an external drive. That but I can put it on a Google Drive. I can make a special Google Drive for my friends.
You got any more of those?
Right.
Do you got some Zets? I need that Zets, man. I need that Sentai. Could you get me the Kabuto? I got pretty much everything in the movies.
Nice.
Up to current on like 4 different drives.
But I guess the big thing is with all of these, there's a lot of story behind it.
You can pull down
all these shows you could watch any Kamen Rider without watching a previous Kamen Rider. You can watch any Sentai show without any previous Sentai experience until you get to maybe an episode that's specifically a nostalgia episode. After that, though, you can pick and choose. You can jump around. I'm never going to say you should. While there are easier ones to start with, in theory, you can start with any of these shows to see what it's about. I have my recommendations depending on what era you want to start with. I have ones you might want to skip. Habiki.
Well,
we can all agree on that one.
Can we? I think the three of us can agree on this one. If for anybody that's watching this that does have a unique interest to wanting to get a toe dipped in the water for this, I think there's two shows that the three of us can agree to. When I say both their names for Kamen Rider to get you in 01, 100%, and Build.
Yeah, I agree.
Think those two shows
are two good starters.
Are
two very good starters
to get you into watching.
And Build will play with your emotions, kids.
Oh,
Build will completely play with your emotions.
It's the first time I've seen a rider get knocked out of his henshin mid-henshin. That was the first time. And that's something I've jokingly said. How many times do I want to see a guy just get freaking Spartan kicked?
And I will also say,
there's a movie I think on Tubi or Pluto, one of those two, where it's Build and Zio. That's another really good movie as well. I forgot the name of it, but that's
Zio's a good
really
one too. But I think that's also. But see, I think Zio's kind of in the range of like Decade and those.
Zio is Decade is literally Decade Take 2.0, and they brought Decade and they brought him in, and they brought
Zio's better.
Yo, Zio's better.
Zio's way better. They did the time travel better. What was it? Omani, the freaking the King Zio, but like he was just.
But with Bill, with the two that you had mentioned, they hit a lot. Those two are very good ones to get yourself also used to the tropes, the combination of some of the silliness to it, mixed in then with the seriousness of it. Are they the best ones for those? Not necessarily. I also, like I said, I've got those are two of very good.
Modern to get people in the modern.
They're two very good 8.5 out of 10 series to watch. That'll get you to appreciate all the other shows. So absolute fantastic suggestions.
Get your feet wet.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean,
and that's kind of what we were hoping today, is to give you guys like a suggestion, because I know we could recommend older ones that are probably way significantly better, and I know we definitely all could. But I feel like if I wanted to get a friend of ours and be like, hey, you liked Power Rangers in the 90s. Yeah, man. Did you watch any of that stuff? Yeah, but I'm kind of not. I don't want that kiddie stuff. Okay, well, let me show you Blade, Kamen Rider Blade. Let me show you, Ryuki. Let me show you Fies. Let me show you the older stuff, if that's where they want to go. Now, if they were like, hey, I want to see something a little bit kind of hybrid that I want to get my kids into, we could definitely recommend shows like that for you as well. I think that we all kind of know what shows fit what, much like True was saying in Tats, that there's a line that we know certain shows cross, and there's ones that kind of keep it kid friendly.
And if you want to go full hardcore, watch Black Sun.
Oh yeah, if you really want to see Kamen Rider unfiltered, like adult level, like R rating, like cussing, blood.
Black Sun.
And
Amazon.
Actually, Amazon's is actually still keeping a lot of the Kamen Rider spirit. But oh my god, it will, especially watch the second season, it will hurt your soul. It's like the season 1, season 2, and a movie that's also pretty dark to it. I would always say, if you want something, if you want the more mature feel to it, Metal Violator Hokkaider.
Yes.
Boy.
Garo,
which is the same director as Metal again, from the same director. I wish if I could do my wish list, I think this Project Red thing, what they should have been doing is making a Garo Super Sentai. Give me a mature Super Sentai. And I want a mature well, I don't think I need a mature Ultraman, but I want a mature Super Sentai at one point. I think it needs to be done of something kind of brutal.
I think I wouldn't mind seeing something like that, but I think you'd end up seeing.
I think Super 7 was one of the ones where he was like ripping people's arms off.
Yeah.
Well, one guy mentioned what's his name? He'd mentioned with Spectreman, he'd mentioned a show, a thing called Redman.
Yeah.
Redman was like literally like 5-minute clips of guy Redman doing somewhere, running into a monster, and murdering him.
Yeah.
In horrible ways.
So,
but it's done in the 70s.
Oh yeah. Now I know exactly who it is.
So
Redman was.
We definitely have good recommendations. I think that we need to put a list together, and we can do that offline for you guys.
We'll check it twice.
And we definitely will run it by the three of us, because I'm not saying anybody's not an expert better than me. I think that that's why I always defer to my friends and anybody else that knows way more than I do, or may know something a little bit different. And I think we kind of given you a fair litmus test. Like, if you liked Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there was a lot of good American stuff that really kind of in the Disney era and post and pre-Disney era that really can give you that fair shake. You know, if you want Kamen Rider and Sentai, we can recommend shows like that to you. At the end of the day, these shows are really good. A lot of them have inclusion. A lot of them I didn't know that there was a lot of things with there was a transgender character that was one of the villains in what was it? Not Double.
Oh, Japan has given no fucks about any of that. So look at with Mazinger Z. One of the main bad guys is half woman, half man, Baron Ashura.
Exactly. Heck, if you want to go back there, look at the original Gatchaman, the main villain.
Yeah, the main villain. Yep.
So these are things, if you don't, and again, we listen, I'm not going to ever say being political is a bad thing. And I know many people don't like it in their
Watch it, Taz.
I know. I gotta watch that, right? But I think that when you watch these shows, if you don't know it and you don't care to know it, who cares? It's an actor or an actress that's representing a character. It's all, again, it's storytelling. So to me, I think that there's a lot of cool elements that are in these shows. And again, it's Asia. So Garo, I do know, was adult, and there is some nudity. There is some hyper violence and more adult themes. So if that's more what you're looking for, hit us up. We'll tell you where to find it. If you're looking for more the kid-friendly stuff to show like your friends and keep an interest, or if you want something semi-adult, we'll tell you. But I think Tad, you can pull that down, the cheat sheet now. I think ultimately, y'all, this was fun. I absolutely love it.
I had a lot of fun.
And I know that sometimes
we're going to talk about Trustarscreamer came through and just flexed that fucking nerd muscle at 1,000.
He started with the freaking let me show you what I have.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk.
Flexed on everybody.
But you know what though? I think that that's cool, because as much as we're all homies, it shows that this is one of the interests. And we told you guys, shows like this are going to be what we do. Now, we do have, I'll give you guys some of the heads up of what's going to be coming, because we had a little bit of a change in episodes. So there is going to be, we're off next week, and we're going to be doing, we're going to be back on September the 5th. So that episode is going to be a kind of a cool one. It's going to be music and anime. And music, when we talk music, we're going to be talking like hip hop. So like a lot of the modern anime that has kind of done this, like with Gacha Cultura, even the new stuff with the last 2 seasons of Bleach, including this current one, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, stuff that we've mentioned, and some other anime that have really kind of leaned into this, like Tenjo Tenge. We're going to be talking about that, and that's going to introduce how some of these anime do people of color. So it's a lot of fun. I know that Tats and I have been a huge fan of these anime, and we've seen a lot of them. So we're going to do a small sampling for y'all. So I think we're going to do like 3 or 4 anime and kind of go into detail how the music was. And we can't sample the music, but we can tell you where to find the music. Most of it's I'm going to tell you it's on Apple Music, because I did do a little background homework. So you can listen to some of the cool stuff and the artists on Amazon or on Apple Music, wherever you find your music at. And I know that that's going to be our next episode on September the 5th, and we'll be at our time on Saturday. That'll be a Saturday.
Yeah, and then real quick, Trustarscreamer, if you want to plug in your socials as well. So like
100%. That's why I wanted to give him that time. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Well, I'd like to say you can join my tens and tens of followers at my YouTube channel at Trustarscreamer. We also have my Instagram at Trustarscreamer as well, which I don't give anywhere near as much love, but still try to get not only my toy photography, but also some of my food photography. And you can
He
also
does
catch
take good
me.
food.
And you can also catch me every Thursday on the Figure Action podcast at Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It has its own channel, but that's where you can find me.
Nice.
And of course, in the chat room, anybody who's like, trying to be nerdy and I can flex more.
Oh yeah, he always does.
I think we might bring you in for the music and anime episode because your face kind of lit up a little bit.
Oh, you had my interest. I mean,
would you like to come on that episode?
I do not feel I'm qualified on that one because
okay.
Wait, no. He says that. That's what he told me last time. I'm not qualified.
No. I have a lot of the modern animes that you had mentioned. I have not watched.
So you got time.
You got 2 weeks. Now, if you ever want to do a retro perspective of that 90s OAV era of anime.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Listen. We got 2 weeks.
I should let you know that I won the very first Otakon anime trivia contest back in 2001.
I'm gonna tell you, I was there.
It was so good. My sex appeal went -5.
And then real quick because we can't keep going on these tangents. I gotta do tomorrow night we are back at Financial Mistakes. You already know, 8 p.m. with my homie TG. We will be interviewing Megatron. I cannot say the rest, Boltunishin, something like that, but he does amazing shots on Instagram. And then I also want to say I didn't want to do this on this YouTube, but I am going to be making a fucking political episode soon because it has to be done. And yeah, so the call outs might be transferring over to YouTube because some shit's got to get done. So just throwing that out there. Other than that, what up, Wholesome? We're about to be out, but thank you for coming by, brother. But yeah, I don't know if my brother's going to want to get involved in this episode, but I know I will be doing an episode, whether it's Financial Mistakes, whether it'll be Cultura Pop, but we are going to get political in this bitch because some things need to get fucking debunked.
Count me in. You always can count me in.
Cool.
Definitely if I'm not in it, I'll be in the chat room watching.
Awesome. And with that being said, I think we're done for tonight. Thank you, everybody that's stopping by. Really appreciate y'all. And I'm going to leave you with G.I. Joe, the real American douchebag. Whenever there's woke, G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Powered by Tats and Toys. Toy. Tats and Toys. Toy. Powered by Tats and Toys.